Hey ABC, how you doing? Doompaul here. You're looking great. Nice to see you. A couple of records. Actually, I've got a ton of records, but I'm just going to do 5 or so. Um, yeah, just got back from Ireland. Um, Pretty fantastic. We toured around the entire country, and I was actively looking for record stores, but we were on this group tour thing, so I didn't have a ton of time to do that. But I found one in Belfast. I forget the name of it. Great story, right? But it was mostly metal, and man, they had so much stuff I wanted. So much. I just had no way of getting it into my luggage home, which really makes me sad. They had the first Trouble, the original press, for like, I don't know, it was like 12 euros or something, which is, I guess, like 15 bucks. And man, I wanted that, but it wasn't to be. But that's cool. But it was really nice it was beautiful country. I really had a good time. Me and my wife and a friend went. And yeah, just sort of the thing I needed to sort of refresh myself. And yeah, I don't know. And I had some records waiting for me when I came home, which was pretty fantastic too. So without further ado, gonna get into a couple of things I got. This one was on the recommendation of my friend Josh Vanderloop, who's a really cool cat. Has quite the extensive collection. And I didn't look these guys up or anything. I just purchased it on his recommendation. And this is I don't know if it's AMA-dots or AMA-dots or whatever. This is, and it's a reissue on a rerun. I guess it's basically all their first stuff plus a bunch of demos. And yeah, they're out of Milwaukee. They were around from like 1979 to 83, I want to say. Got pretty little vomit-colored record. Yeah. And wasn't expecting this. Bizarre. It jumps from punk to experimental to pop at times even. And there's this woman singer who's just a... Man, I'm having a hard time describing this record because it's so... I guess Lydia Lunch comes close, or Nina Hagen. Let's say Nina Hagen. Just with the wild stuff, and sort of the angry guttural vocals almost, and but really tight songwriting, which is really weird. It's experimental, but it's very sort of focused. And man, I'm really enjoying the hell out of this. So thanks for the heads up on this one, Josh. I'm really digging it. Listened to it quite a few times actually, and yeah, it's something that's its own thing. It's really hard to pin down and categorize. Post-punk, I don't know, but just really fun. But no, I wouldn't even say fun. I don't know. You give it a listen on YouTube, see what you think. These things are still around. Once again, that is on Rerun Records. But yeah, it kind of floored me. What does the hype sticker say? Chicago producer Ian Burgess and unreleased demos plus live material from 79 through 83. Bombastic experimental post-punk from Milwaukee. Yeah, I don't know. But I really, really enjoy this. So yeah, give it a listen. See what you think. I'd love to hear some other people's opinions on this. Yeah, so once again, that's AMA-dots or AMA-dots. I don't know. If you could correct me on that as well, I'd be pretty happy. Next one, I got a really inexpensively off of one of those Facebook auction groups, which I've been kind of digging lately. Because you can get stuff really cheap. It's not like eBay. eBay, it seems like you can't really get anything really cheap anymore. You're lucky if you do. I remember the heyday of eBay when, there were actually auctions instead of everything buy it now. There's something to be said with starting to bid off at $1, and going as high as you can, whatever. You may lose it, you may not, whatever. But it's sort of fun, and that was part of the allure of it. Now everything's sort of buy it now, or they'll put up 10 records and say, well, you can get any one of these for $25, and I'm just like, where's the sport in that? Anyway, next one is Riot, Narita, and love the record. On Capitol Pressing, it's an EMI, a Capitol re-release. I guess it was originally on EMI. A lot of the new wave of British heavy metal bands, I don't even know if these guys are actually categorized as that, but all that sort of genre, a lot of times it's just, I wonder why exactly they're labeled as a metal band when it's basically pretty much just a rock record. They're singing about the same things about rock. Waiting for the Taking, Hot for Love, road racing. Totally like 70s tropes. But this one definitely has a metal feel to it. It's crunchy and it's bombastic and it's pretty fantastic. This is not a perfect record. This could have been a perfect record. And you know why it's not a perfect record? Because it has a fucking cover of Born to Be Wild. I can get behind a cover every once in a while. But a cover of Born to Be Wild, I cannot. It's a waste. If you're gonna put out a record, spend the extra 2 days, write another song. Don't cover Born to Be Wild. What are you thinking? And I think it really breaks up the flow of an otherwise really, really fantastic record. This record has so much going for it, and I love it. I do. And then it comes into the Born to Be Wild thing, and I have to get up, and I have to, skip over the song, because I don't want to hear it. I just don't. If I never hear a cover of Born to Be Wild, or the actual original Born to Be Wild song again, I'll be a happy man. But it is what it is. But otherwise, Riot, Narita, great record. Alright. Now, this record here is sort of what I was just talking about in the last one. They label it under metal, or new wave of British heavy metal, but I think it's just a rock record. In fact, it's a good rock record, but it's a Marseille. I believe I'm saying that right. Which is, doesn't give me a date, does it? I don't know. I'm garbage at reading fast. Oh, 79. Okay, so it's just basically a rock record. It's a good rock record. It almost reminds me of Kiss. And I'm not the biggest Kiss fan. I can appreciate Kiss for what they were, and sort of showman band. But I don't like them. Except for Rock and Roll All Night, which was my wedding song. But this came as a bit of a surprise. This was another Facebook auction one I got for next to nothing. And, it totally was worth what I paid for it. And I'll listen to it every once in a while. But just completely, something I didn't know a damn thing about when I bought it. And I knew the name basically, I think maybe from one of the pop-off books, I don't know. But I recognized it, and, solid record. Nothing spectacular, but definitely a rock record. It doesn't have the edginess that Riot record has. It doesn't have the Yeah, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. I love it when my screen shuts off halfway through one of these things. Always does. Then I have to look like a goofball doing this. Next record. Really surprised me because I have always grown up thinking I do not like this band. And I will stand by that. Their later stuff, I think, is garbage, even for a huge prog fan like me. And they tend to lump these guys in with prog for some reason. Queen's right, and this is their first EP, which is great. This is a great metal record. And somebody mentioned that the first one after this is really good too. But this one doesn't have any of the overblown drama, and Jeff Tate still had his voice, and just a great metal record. It's loud and it's operatic and it's a lot of fun. The first song, Queen of the Reich, man, that's a great song. But then I remembered listening to like Operation Mindcrime and stuff like that, and I was just not into it. Maybe it's time I give it another chance because I was 18 when I listened to it the first time or something like that, and I didn't buy it. But this, if I had known about this back then, I would have kind of flipped on it. And this is an EMI release. I don't know if it's a re-release or whatever. It says 83, so maybe not. Yeah, a lot of fun. Picked this one up at Record World. Jesse had a bunch of metal stuff come in, and I sort of jumped on a couple of them. That was one of them. Now, this last record, not metal, prog, and this one came from the Metal Theologian in all his infinite kindness. And it took me a while to process this one, and I've got to say that this is my favorite album on the planet right now. Green Slate. They're self-titled. First of all, look at that cover. Man, that's great. And let's see here. And same guy that did the Yes records. What's his name? Maybe it's on here. I should know this because he's one of my favorite artists. Roger Dean. Yeah, Roger Dean. Guy that worked for Hypnogenesis, or however you pronounce it. Here's the inside. And it's green. Haha! Green Slate. Just a beautiful, beautiful record. Send me in such great condition. A lot of the records I pick up, are very good plus, because I'm not the biggest condition whore. I like the music inside. I want the record itself to be fantastic shape, but as far as the sleeves go, I'm open. I like to have a nice clean one, but of course, but if it's something I want, as long as the vinyl itself is fine, I'm cool. But this one is just gorgeous shape, and I've never, yeah. So anyway, thank you, Aaron. Okay, so onto the record itself. Here's the deal. Go on YouTube and listen to the first song. The first song's title is Feathered Friends. This is a deeply prog record. It is, there's no doubt about it. It's got the heavy keyboards. It's got the whatever. It's definitely proggy and ponderous and everything else. But the dude singing, Dave Lawson, I guess his name is, he's got this emotion to him that a lot of times you don't find. Cheers. you don't find in a lot of prog. A lot of prog I find to be, with the vocals anyway, with the exception of Van de Graaff Generator and stuff like that, kind of sterile. You know, its voice is used as an instrument, and an instrument has limits and can be very rigid. You know, some people sing like they're a trombone or something like that. Guy from Yes comes to mind. You know, sort of sterile. But not this guy. He's got emotion, man. And when he sings, he's telling a story. And, you know, you want to hear the story. It's great. But anyway, definitely listen to that first track on YouTube. Listen to Feathered Friends. And if it doesn't rock your world, that's cool. But there's going to be some people out there that haven't heard this that are just going to sort of jaw drop, because I know I did. And so much fun. Yeah, so I've listened to this record 20 times since I've gotten it. And it just keeps getting better and better. And this morning I actually listened to one of the other ones on YouTube that I don't have. And I realized, oh, it's just as good. And so now I'm on the hunt for the rest of them, because just great stuff. Yeah, alright, so, again, Greenslade. Greenslade. Great name. Anyway, so, aside from that, you know, and my wife loves this, I've also been collecting, pardon me, DVDs, and I've been trying to collect the entire DC Comics, sort of whatever has been made on, you know, DVD as either a TV show or a serial or a movie or a cartoon. I'm trying to get the entire DC collection. Why? Because usually when I go to a thrift store, I can find one of them for $2. So it's definitely a budget collection thing. But a little bit more of the obscure stuff you can still find wherever for super cheap. And here's my stinker of the month. Birds of Prey. So yeah, it's some girl that plays Batman's daughter, the Huntress, and the Oracle, and some girl that has some weird telepathic powers. And oh man, is this bad? Just so bad. It's hilarious, but I've only been able to get through 3 episodes, and they only lasted a season. I don't know how many episodes there are, and I suppose I'll eventually get through it. But bad. Anyway, I have rambled on for far long enough. I just hope you guys are all doing well. Great to see you, and yeah, we'll see you again shortly. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.